Well, once again, I'll reintroduce myself. My name is Palan. I'm the product educator here at DMF. So I'm going to be going over our retrofit solutions presentation today. We have a new product coming into the family that's an 8 to 4 inch retrofit conversion kit. So we'll be going over that, plus some of the new features that it brings into the family. Um, First of all, though, we're going to start off with some different junction box solutions, talk about our classic retrofit trims, and then also the adapters that are able to be used to power all of these the different modules in these different scenarios. So without further ado, I'm going to start off with our junction box solutions. So these are going to be the most sort of simple types of products that are able to be installed in any sort of traditional junction box. Most of them on the screen here do require sort of a standard, or rather a deep depth junction box of about 2 1/8 inch, which is what I have here. But starting from the left, the first and really the easiest to retrofit are going to be any of our cylinder solutions. Those have the most expansive sort of options for junction boxes, whether it's 3 inch, 4 inch. We can have more shallow solutions or shallow junction boxes. Really, you just need obviously room for the wiring. At DMF, all of our cylinders, whether it's the more sort of budget-friendly C series or H series, or into the fully spec grade M series and X series cylinders, all of them have the drivers built into the module within the cylinder themselves. So you're not dealing with any remote drivers or canopies or anything to hide within the ceiling. So everything will just have standard, line voltage wiring coming out of the top of the cylinder. We'll have 2 additional wires for 0 to 10 volt if you're using 0 to 10 volt fixtures. But besides that, they're very simple to retrofit and have usually a nice sort of expansive array of options for what types of junction boxes you can install into. So our pendant mounts and surface mounts are obviously going to be the most commonly used, or they're the 2 options for any ceiling mounted junction boxes. Wall mounts, of course, are available as well for those sort of sconce type installations. But moving on from that and into more of the downlight nature or side of things, the next family that we look at or talk about for retrofits is going to be our S-Series surface mounted downlight. Again, another junction box solution that is a really simple and easy to install product. So we have 4-inch round and square versions and a larger 8-inch round or 4x18 linear that all fit into a standard junction box. Every fixture is going to come with this included mounting ring here, which you can see screwed into the junction box that we have. That makes the installation very simple and really reliable and repeatable, as the driver clips into that ring there. It's held really securely in place, and you're going to be ensured that you have a nice snug fit without any sag or fixtures that are sort of hanging down from the ceiling or showing a gap up against your drywall. The next product in the lineup for our junction box solutions moves into the H series family of downlights. The H series is a little bit more residentially focused, all based around a 3-inch module. We have options that are up to 950 lumens and either warm dim or 3000 or 2700K static color temperatures. But that plus or rather the flush mount, 4-inch flush mount trim in the family gives you a solution that can again fit within a 2 1/8 inch junction box as well. So really compact. That surface mount trim does give you a very wide angle distribution because of the sort of more exposed nature of it. So you have about 110-degree beam angle in this instance, and a trim that sits sort of just flush below the ceiling plane. But again, gives you a really high performance fixture. It's 120 volt, 5% triac dimmable, and a really compact shallow plenum solution. And then the last one is going to move up to our M series. So the M series really is our most fully featured downlight family, all based around a 4-inch module and sets of trims. The DRD2, which is the current sort of product code for the fixed downlight within the M series family, does fit within a 4-inch junction box. So it actually has 2 screw holes in the front here that line up with your standard screw mounting holes in a junction box. So the installation, you wire up your module into the junction box and the field wiring. You put those 2 screws in so that it's held securely in place within the junction box. And then we have this surface mount trim that finishes everything off. So that twists and locks onto the front of the module here. So that gives you really a surface mounted M series downlight. Again, you're now moving into a class of fixture that has more options for optics, better dimming performance. So we have 1% track dimmable drivers here. We do have 0 to 10 volt options. It's a dual voltage, so 120, 277 volt driver. All those sorts of things that you might need in maybe more commercial projects or places where you just need to have more options, maybe different color temperatures, up to anywhere from 2400 to 4000. So we have a wider range of benefits and features here. And if you have an existing junction box that you need to retrofit into with an M series module, you can do so just like that. The next group of products that I'll talk about are the classic retrofit trims. So these are 3 different trims that are available in the 4, 5, or 6-inch sizes, and again work with our M series modules. I'll start off with the 4-inch trim. It's sort of the most compact and shallow of all of them. A lot of 4-inch housings are, existing 4-inch, especially now LED housings out in the market. They don't all have the same amount of depth that we have in our standard M series housing. So the standard M series housing is about 4 5/8 inches deep. That gives you all of the room to have your wiring plus the standard regress of the trim and the module. So this is a slightly more shallow regress. So it does have, about 3/4 of an inch regress and then the lens of itself. But that does allow you to fit into most 4-inch housings that are out in the market. Has simple pressure clips on the side here that hold everything in place, and the module twists and locks onto that front of that trim. The next size up, or the 2 sizes up really, are the 5 and 6-inch. Both very similar, so these move to a deeper regress as the 5 and 6-inch housings tend to have a little bit more room and space on the inside. And both of them feature torsion springs for your standard installation. So again, most 5 and 6-inch housings have those torsion springs that hold in either their existing trims or baffles. So these allow for a very, again, simple installation to pop in and give you a downlight in that place. Both these, or rather all 3 of these trims in these 3 different sizes are available in both black and white. And then we also have a smooth and a baffle finish as well. I don't have that baffle finish with me here, but that gives you that sort of standard classic ridged baffle all the way on the inside of that trim. In addition to that, all of these trims are also compatible between our fixed downlight and our adjustable modules. So if you do need an adjustable, you can fit the DRD4 adjustable module in place and get that adjustable functionality that you might need for your particular project. So those are all of the classic retrofit trims. As far as getting your fixture, your module powered from your existing installation, we have a set of adapters that are available typically for use with these classic retrofit trims, also for the conversion kits that we'll talk about next. 4 main styles of adapters here. So we have probably one of the most commonly used, especially for existing 6-inch, 5-inch cans, will be a screw base to ideal power connector. So these ideal connectors are what come on every one of our M series and H series modules. So you can screw that right into the light bulb socket and then plug in your module. This is probably one of the most common situations, and is really as simple as changing a light bulb. You're taking that existing lamp out, removing the baffle and trim, and then putting that new assembly in. It takes usually less than a minute to maybe retrofit an entire fixture. The next one down the line is going to be for a GU10 base. So we have that GU10 pin base with, again, our ideal quick connect. We also do have a male-to-male adapter. These are my hands. So some existing cans out there do have the opposite gender. So we need a male power plug to go into our female quick connect on the module. But some of those housings do have female quick connects. So we just have a turnaround that will allow you to plug into that. And then last but not least, if there are bare wire leads or none of those options fit, you can always cut and splice in a new set of power leads. So these power leads will come with every M-Series module, so you just have that in the box ready to go, so you can wire in if you have existing wiring in your housing that doesn't fit any of the three first options. So with that, we have those sets of adapters and different options already on the table. The next product, again, that we're introducing here is the 8 to 4 inch Retrofit Conversion Kit. So some of you may have been familiar or have already used or sold our 6 to 4 inch conversion kit. So that was our existing version of the product, which again, gives you the option to take existing 6 inch housings and take them down to a 4 inch aperture. The 8 to 4 inch really just is expanding on that and giving you literally a larger mud plate that's going to fit a larger number of fixtures. So the key piece here is that this is now going to accommodate anywhere between a 6 inch and 8 inch housing. So you can see the back of the mud plate is sort of stepped and has a little rigidity to it, but all of that will fit within housings as small as 6 inches. So you have the same sort of functionality. So this 8 to 4 will be replacing our existing 6 to 4 inch conversion kits, as it really does cover the same bases. You'll have to use a little bit more, mud and things around the mud plate. But it gives you really all of that same functionality. So in a typical installation, what we see is, a lot of, again, 6 inch housings that may, look something like what you're used to seeing here. So that, again, 8 to 4 kit goes over the front of that housing, screws in with an included set of drywall screws. You then mud and tape over it, and then you are now reduced down to a much more aesthetically pleasing and modern 4 inch aperture. The other great sort of benefit here is that because we're moving down to that, or rather doing the mudding work, you can use this with a lot of flangeless trim. So as long as your drywall work is up to snuff and gives you a good quality level finish. But that said, it is of course also compatible with any sort of flange trims as well. One other nice update that we're seeing here in this new 8 to 4 inch conversion kit is that we've changed the design of the collar somewhat. So the existing collar was compatible or really designed around our IC rated sets of fixtures. So we were using it in those situations. What we've done is update the collar. So this is the existing collar that was previously used. We've now made it into the same collar design that's used in all of our M-Series non-IC fixtures. So it's really adding these two tabs on the side of the collar here. And what that does is give us compatibility with the M-Series non-IC adjustable fixture. So this is the adjustable that is fully recessed above the trim, gives you up to 3,500 lumens of output in a non-IC setting. So you have much higher lumen outputs in an adjustable fixture that's fully recessed. So this is going to be great for a lot of those types of, ballroom projects, big hotels, spaces that have lots of existing 7, 8 inch fixtures that want to shrink down, look more modern, maybe still have needs for high lumen adjustable fixtures. So we have expanded compatibility within that whole set of fixtures, a whole family of options. So as we look at the compatible modules, so when we're using this again, the 8 to 4 retrofit conversion kit with the M-Series family, it's going to be compatible with all the main modules in the family here. So we have our standard fixed downlight and standard adjustable that are found in the IC rated fixtures. So these for the fixed downlights are going to go up to 1,500 lumens and 1,000 lumens for the adjustable fixture. Again, this is the gimbal style adjustable, so it sits a little bit below the trim or inside the trim, but gives you 45 degrees of tilt and 360 degrees of rotation. The other two sets of modules now that are going to be compatible are moving up to our higher lumen downlights. So again, for those non-IC installations or those retrofits, we have up to 3,500 lumens in our fixed downlights and 3,500 lumens in our adjustable fixtures. So more compatibility, higher lumen outputs, and larger fixtures that we can now retrofit into. So lots of new benefits with this upgraded 8 to 4 inch design. And then once again, these all work with any of the trims in the family as well, whether it's decorative, wall wash, pinhole, hyperbolic, standard, flanged, flangeless. We have all that compatibility. So really it's up to you to decide the aesthetic finish and how that plays out in the rest of the space. When it comes to non-IC fixtures, I've gone over our IC rated adapters, so the ones that we have, either the screw base, the GU10s. For non-IC fixtures, obviously, to be up to code, we need to contain all of that wiring so it's not exposed within the ceiling. So we do have two options here as well. We have the junction box adapters, which will require some rewiring. I can show you an example of that in a second. But we have the 0 to 10 volt option, which gives you that 6-pin Molex connector and the 5 wires that you need for 0 to 10 volt wiring. So this is really just an assembled wiring whip with the cap on it. So this cap will then attach to the back of any of our M-series modules, just like so. So we have the wiring that comes out and goes into place, and then that cap snaps over the back of the module, so you have a nice clean package, and then this whip will go into your existing junction box that's already attached to the housing. If you do have non-IC fixtures that are utilizing triac dimming, we realize there are some of those out there. We're able to offer that in downlight modules up to 1500 lumens, and we do have a triac version of that as well. So 3 wires going into the conduit. We have that ideal connector and ground wire coming out of the cap. So same idea, you connect your module, but that's going to be utilized for your triac dimming fixtures. When it comes to really retrofitting this into some non-IC fixtures, there are plenty of non-IC fixtures out there that are 6, 7, 8 inches that have lots of retrofit opportunities. This is an intact example of one of those. So we have the light engine module. Many of them, if not most of them, do have drivers attached to a junction box. So we have field wiring and a driver here. So there's typically some electrical work that needs to be done to bypass that driver. So we have one example of that here in terms of how we've done that. So what we've done is go to the inside of this junction box and cut and splice out the driver that was already in place. We have some field wiring going in. So instead of going into the driver and out to the module, we have our field wiring that's going to go directly into our junction box adapter, which has been wired onto this housing rather. So that junction box adapter is now going to deliver the line voltage and 0 to 10 volt wires right to your module that you can then retrofit with, again, possibly a retrofit trim, or now the 8 to 4 inch conversion kits as well. So really giving you sort of all of the options that you need to really retrofit and test out any of those different scenarios. Of course, with any retrofit opportunity, you really want to test and verify things in the field. So we highly encourage that you order samples, test things out so that you know that things are going to fit, and really, verify before placing any sort of orders in mass quantities. The last thing to go over with you all is the Retrofit Conversion Kit. Again, that 8 to 4 inch conversion kit is also compatible with our H series as well. So the H series module is definitely a more affordable price point when compared to the M series. We're capping out at, again, 950 lumens, so lower lumen outputs. It's a 3-inch module. But it does have a set of 4-inch trims. So we have the standard 4-inch trim here, as well as a round-on square. We do have an adjustable trim and a flush mount trim. All of those would potentially work with, again, the 8 to 4-inch conversion kit. So you can, again, convert that housing down to a smaller size and use one of the H-series modules and trims if that budget price point becomes a driver where you need to cut costs on the module or the lighting fixtures themselves. That is a potential option as well to get to, again, a higher quality upgraded LED retrofit fixture. With that, that's all that I have to share with you all today. Once again, we're very excited to bring this retrofit kit to the market and give you guys more compatibility, more solutions to bring DMF into existing projects. If any of you have any additional questions, I'll stick around for a few minutes and keep my eye on the Q&A. Otherwise, I want to thank you all again for joining us, and please be on the lookout. We'll be sending out our webinars for the month of August relatively soon. So we hope to see you again in August. Thank you.